The door in Green Pines. When Ryan first saw the listing online, Green Pines looked like the perfect escape, a cheap old house tucked between dark pine forests and foggy valleys. The ad said, "Quiet town, friendly people, great for a fresh start." After losing his job and his apartment, quiet sounded good. He packed everything he owned into his car and drove 6 hours into the mountains until he reached the crooked wooden sign that said, "Welcome to Green Pines. Population 52. The town was eerily still. The streets were cracked. The streetlights hummed faintly even in daylight. And the people he passed just stared too long, smiling with mouths that didn't move quite right. His new home stood on the edge of town. It smelled like damp wood and dust, but it was furnished and intact. Everything seemed fine until that first night. At exactly 12 a.m., a heavy thud echoed from the back of the house. Then another, slow, deliberate. It came from behind the one door that wouldn't open, a small one in the hallway near the kitchen. The knob wouldn't turn. He'd assumed it was a storage closet, but now the banging grew louder. Thud, thud, thud. He called out, "Hello? Is someone there?" The noise stopped instantly. The next morning, he asked the old woman at the town's only diner if she knew anything about his house. Her smile froze. "Don't open it," she said softly. Then she blinked, and her face reset into the same plastic grin. "Enjoy your stay in Green Pines, dear." By the third night, Ryan could barely sleep. The banging started again, louder, desperate, like fists slamming the wood. When he pressed his ear against the door, he swore he heard whispers. "Let me out, or you'll never leave." He backed away, heart racing. He grabbed his phone to call his friend Sam, but the signal bar was gone. No service, not even Wi-Fi. He walked through town the next day trying to find reception, but everywhere he went, people just stared. Their faces were wrong. Their eyes didn't blink. One man waved at him, but his hand bent at an angle that shouldn't have been possible. Ryan rushed back to his car, but when he turned the key, the engine only coughed. The gas gauge was full, but the car wouldn't start. He tried to use GPS, but when he typed Green Pines, nothing came up. The map just spun endlessly, as if the town didn't exist. Panicking, he messaged his friends, "Guys, I think I'm stuck here. Can you find Green Pines?" Minutes later, one replied, "What are you talking about? That place doesn't exist. You sure you're not joking?" Ryan stared at the message until the screen glitched, the text flickering before disappearing completely. His friend's name on the chat vanished too, replaced with unknown contact. That night, the banging didn't stop. It started at midnight and continued. Boom, 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 shaking the walls. Something inside that door wanted out. Desperate, Ryan grabbed a hammer and broke the lock. The door creaked open. A cold gust blew through the hall. Behind it was not a closet, but a narrow stairway descending into a black void. The air smelled like rust and rain, and faintly he heard a voice whispering from below. "This way out." He stepped down. The staircase seemed endless. The deeper he went, the darker it grew, until finally he saw a dim light ahead. When he emerged, he found himself standing in a street. The same street, the same house, the same sign. But something was off. The air was heavier. The sky was colorless. And the people walking around weren't quite walking. They twitched, limbs jerking in slow, puppet-like motions. He looked back at the house. The door was still open behind him. And inside, he saw himself standing there. Another Ryan, pale and motionless, staring straight back at him. The other Ryan smiled. Then he reached out and slammed the door shut. Ryan screamed and ran through the town, but everything was wrong. Every street looped back to the same intersection. Every building repeated endlessly. Every face was the same. He pulled out his phone again. The signal bar was gone, but one new notification appeared. "Welcome to Green Pines. Population 53." And from somewhere in the distance, the midnight banging began again.